So this is the way you have to look at perf. And somebody said, what about the intermediate level? So if you're an adult, right? If you're an adult, that means you at least studied English in middle school and high school. That's at least 6 years. I understand. Maybe you hated English. Maybe you were terrible. Maybe you forgot everything. Maybe you haven't studied in 10 years or 20 years, whatever. The question you need to ask is, do you need to speak English? If the answer is yes, then you need the course. Will some lessons be really tough? Sure. Vocabulary, grammar, but we give you the Chinese translation. This class is about speaking. So if you keep that in mind, this is the class that you need. If you need to speak English, then this class is what you need. Okay, does that make sense? It's for adults. So there's no intermediate level, there's no advanced, there's no beginner, but I understand we like to use the word levels. This class, however, is created for people who need to speak English. So the only question you need to ask is, do I need to speak English? If the answer is yes, then this class will help you, okay? How long are the lessons? So it's 20 weeks. We're sending you 25 lessons, and I recommend that you take 6 months to study them. I recommend 6 months for those 25 lessons. 1 week per lesson. That's what I recommend. The lesson videos for each lesson is about an hour. So for each lesson, there is a lesson video. It's actually 2 videos, but it comes out to an hour, about an hour for each lesson. People say, there was a question, so what level will I get to after I take this course? There is no level. And if you're a student and you're worried about like a test level, I don't know. It's up to you. Because I can give you the course and you might not do anything. So will that help you? No. Whatever you do in life, it's up to you. Don't rely on somebody else. You got to do the work. What I do is provide the infrastructure. I provide a system that has worked for other people, but I don't know if it's going to work for you, right? I don't know you. You might have a really high level right now. So will it take you to the 99th percentile? Maybe not. Maybe not. You might be horrible at English. And if you study my lessons the way I tell you to study the lessons at the end of 25 weeks, your English will be so much better. So I don't know. So if you're worried about levels, I don't know. That's on you. If you listen, if you do what I tell you, if you're coachable, very important word. If you are coachable, this class will have a great impact on your speaking. Speaking is so important. So important. The other question, so yeah, I don't know. Perf is designed for adults. When I created the Perf lessons, thank you. When I created the Perf lessons, in my mind, you are a professional. You are married. You have a child or children. You are busy. You're a busy person, but you need English. That's who I created the lessons for. That's what's in my head. You are a professional. You're married. You have children. You're busy, but you need English. That's who I created the lessons for. Do we have kids? We got kids. We got grandmas. We have people in their 80s studying perf. I know I have 2 5-year-old kids studying perf, which is almost impossible. It's their mothers. The mothers are sitting there with their little children and they're having fun. They're playing with it. It's great. What they will learn is completely different from what you will learn, but they love it. Cool. That's fine with me. I don't care who studies as long as they benefit, but it's designed for adults. 80% of my members are professionals around the world. In China, maybe 70% more students in China. I think the hunger for students is higher. But around the world, 80% are professionals, for sure. All right, business English. Who wants to learn business English? Say me. Who wants to learn business English? Say me, 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 me. Who wants to learn business English? Only one person? Two people. You want to learn cold calling? Cool. Oh, a bunch of people. Great. Cold calling. Really? Sales is tough. Are you an extrovert? Are you Wei Xiang? Cold calling, you need to be an extrovert and you need to have very thick skin. If you're cold calling, you need to expect no on every call. That's my advice to you. Yeah, you're a salesman. Yeah. Cold calling. Well, good. What is cold calling? You don't know. What kind of business English do you want to learn? So one guy said cold calling. Cool. What else? What kind of business English do you want to learn? What do you want to learn? Business English. What? What do you want to learn? No, I wrote it. Cold calling. I'll explain. Don't worry. I'll explain. Don't worry. I will explain it. Sell your products. Explain. Like how? What? Purchasing engineer. Ooh, cool. Purchasing engineer. I love it. What else? What else? I'll explain. Hold your horses. Don't even look at it. People don't know. Don't even look at it. What else do you want to learn? You're in my live studio again. Cool. What kind of business English do you want to learn? Tell me. Be specific. If you're not specific, I won't write it down. About law, you mean law? Business law? But I mean, what business law? There's a million types of business law. What? International contract law, product liability law. There's a million different types of law. So be specific. What kind of law? Zoom meeting? What does that mean? Zoom meeting? This is like a Zoom meeting. I'm talking right now. Daily conversation? What subject? How to learn what? Your course is great, thank you. Project manager, what type of project? Good. What type of project? What type of projects? Promotional emails, good. Well, that's writing, that's not speaking. It's marketing, right? Cell phones? About law. What kind of law? Be specific. R&D. For what? R&D for what? Exhibition reservation. Good. Good. R&D for what? Dishware? Batteries? EVs? Cell phones? What type of law? Be specific, guys. Home appliances. Good. So we'll say project manager, R&D, home appliances. We'll just say that. I'm not going to wait forever. IoT, what is IoT? Information technology, what is IoT? Explain that to me. Why can't I get those? We're using different apps. Sorry, we're using different apps. Yeah, if you're not, I know you don't, everybody doesn't see all the comments. I'm using different platforms. Okay, so let me see here. Let's do project manager, R&D, home appliances. Hold on a second. Let's learn that English, okay? We'll learn for a project manager of R&D for home appliances. Just a second. Intelligence of technology. Ooh, is that like AI? All right. So we're going to learn business English, everybody. We're learning business English, and we're going to learn for a project manager of R&D home appliances. That's what we're going to focus on, okay? So are you guys ready to write down words? Yes or no? Are you ready to write down words? Yes or no? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes or no? Are you ready? Here we go. PLM. Write it down. PLM. PLM. Number one. Number two, prototyping. Write it down. Prototyping. Prototyping. Number three, BOM. Write it down. BOM. Number four, DFM. DFM. Write it down. DFM. Number five, NPI. NPI. Write it down. Number six, MVP. MVP. Not most valuable player. MVP. Minimum viable product. Number seven, IP. Not internet protocol. Intellectual property. Number eight, agile project management. Agile project management. Number nine, phase gate process. Phase gate process. Number 10, QFD. Write it down, QFD. Number 11, value engineering. Value engineering. Number 12, cross-functional teams. Number 13, FMEA. Number 14, regulatory compliance, patent reviews, CAD, reverse engineering, UCD, IoT, Internet of Things, ergonomics, CBA, TTM, ROI, industrial design, heat mapping, lean manufacturing, SCM, tech specs, sustainability, continuous improvement, product differentiation. If you are a project manager in R&D working on home appliances, you should know those words. Does anybody else need to know those words? Yes or no? Does anyone else need to know those words? No. No. A guy who does cold calls has no idea what I just said. Human resources person has no idea what I just said. The CEO doesn't understand half of what I said. There is no business English. There's your area of business English. You need to know that. You need to know your area. If your area is AI, you better know a lot about AI. Let's do that. A project manager for AI or Internet of Things. So if you're an AI person, this is what you need to know. ML. Do you know ML? NL. Do you know NL? NLP. NLP. Do you know NLP? Deep learning. Do you understand deep learning? Training data. Not too bad. Algorithm. Okay. ANN. Do you know ANN? Supervised learning. Sounds easy, but it's not. Unsupervised learning. Maybe not easy. Reinforcement learning. I'm confused. Inference. XAI. XAI. Overfitting. AGI. If you're an AI project manager, if you're an AI project manager, you need to know those things. Does a marketing person need to know those things? Nope. Does an accountant need to know those things? Nope. Like I said, the CEO doesn't even need to know those things. So, once again, I repeat myself, there is no business English. There's no English teacher. Can an English teacher teach you about hyperparameter tuning? Can an English teacher teach you about hyperparameter tuning? Do any of you, if you're an AI expert, you know all about hyperparameter tuning. There is no English teacher, I doubt, in the world who knows anything about hyperparameter tuning. Is it perimeter? No, it's parameter. Hyperparameter, one word, halo. Hyperparameter tuning. There's no English teacher on earth who can teach that. Maybe there's one. That teacher should make a lot of money. Can any English teacher teach you about digital twins? No, they can't. So when you say business English, it's not business English. You need communication skills. All A's, param, P-A-R-A, parameter. You need communication skills. That's what an English teacher can teach you. Communication skills. No English teacher can teach you about digital twins. They have no idea what a digital twin is. We don't even know the phrase digital twin. No English teacher can teach that. But if you are an AI project manager, you absolutely need to know that. That's your area of expertise. And you need to be an expert. So you need to know your words. And that falls in every business category, from logistics to HR, to finance, to accounting, to sales, to marketing, everything. You need to know your jargon. You need to know your professional words. What can an English teacher do for you? They can help you communicate. That's what we can do, help you communicate. How long have I been doing this? 38 years. I started teaching in 1986. So I'm coming up on 40 years. Isn't that amazing? A long, long time. I want to turn you for help about a competition. What kind of competition? Synthesizer, synthesizer, synthesizer. Somebody's asking for the pronunciation. Synthesizer, synthesizer. Good. Give me questions. Can you show a lesson sample? We do during the pitch. We do. Can we learn some common positions names? What do you mean? CEO, CFO, CRO, CMO, CIO. Every country's structure is different. A corporation and a private company will have a different structure. So, and the meanings are different. So each company uses a different flow chart. So for example, in my business, do I have my map? I have an organizational chart for my business. Oh, where's my org chart? Anyway, my org chart in my business is different than your org chart in your business. Yeah, so it's kind of arbitrary. Give me more questions. You're going to go to sleep? It's too early. Hello, foreign friends. Hi. Nice to see you. Bum, 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 bum. And the same thing goes for lawyers and doctors. If we talk about a doctor, for example, there is a heart doctor, right? Surgeon, a heart surgeon, a cardiologist. There is a children's doctor, a pediatrician. The things a cardiologist, a heart doctor, talks about, looks at, diagnoses, makes a prognosis of, are completely different than that of a children's doctor, a pediatrician. Lawyers, a contract law lawyer in China and an international contract law lawyer in China have different conversations. They know different words. So I don't care. An engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer. I need engineering English. Really? Chemical engineering or mechanical engineering? And I'm sure within chemical engineering, I don't know, but I'm guessing there are other specialties that are completely different from other chemical engineers. I'm guessing. I don't know. So, right. So there is no business English. There is no doctor English. There is no engineering English. There is no law English. There is your specialty, and you need to know your specialty. There's no English teacher who can teach you your specialty. Your professors can. Books that you read can. Not an English teacher. An English teacher can help you communicate. That's what you need. Do I teach by a textbook? Do you think, yes or no, everybody? Do you think I teach with a textbook? Yes or no? Do you think I teach with a textbook? Yes or no? Absolutely not. I don't teach students. No. I teach adults. Students have textbooks. Textbooks suck. Textbooks are boring. Textbooks are great if you're a student. If you're a student, it's excellent. But as an adult, no. Do I have class material? Of course. I create tons of class material. This is the way to look at it. The classes that textbooks, this is a good way to look at it. Oops. It's one word, sorry. Textbooks. English textbooks. Dead English. Coach Shane's material, living English. Do you understand the difference between dead English and living English? Yes or no? Do you understand the difference between dead English and living English? Good. Explain it. What's the difference? What's the difference? Explain the difference. Good. No interaction. Not flexible. My answer is it's static. Do you understand static? S-T-A-T-I-C. Static. Do you understand what that means? S-T-A-T-I-C. It doesn't move. It's not flexible. Living English, so if dead English is static, it's rote. If dead English is static, living English is what? What's the opposite of static? If dead English is static, what's the opposite of static? I don't like English. I understand. Dynamic. Exactly. Dynamic. What does dynamic mean? Moving, changing, flexible, vivid. I love it. Great words. You guys are great. Yes, yes, yes. So textbooks are static. For students, we need that. Students need static textbooks. Why? Because there's a test, and the test measures their understanding of static textbooks. Do you understand? But real life is not static. Real life is dynamic. Real life changes. It's unpredictable. We never know what's going to happen in real life. So we adjust, we maneuver, we pivot. This is the idea. So textbooks are great for students. Oh, we can use it in language, right? Yeah. So somebody said, I thought static is just a scientific term. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, but I'm using it for English language. Do you understand how I'm using it? Yes or no? Do you understand what I mean when I say static and dynamic? So if you're a student, you have to have the static environment because you have to take a test. Taking a test on something dynamic is really tough. Taking a test on something static is easy. You got to memorize. But if you memorize, it's easy. Taking a test on something dynamic. So I'll give you an example. A relationship. between a husband and a wife, is it static or dynamic? The relationship between a husband and a wife, is it static or is it dynamic? For most people, it's very dynamic. It's always changing. It's chaos. It's crazy. You never know what's going to happen. When my wife says to me, we need to talk. What did I do? I'm scared. But the relationship, many, between a father and a son, the relationship between a father and a son in particular, because I'm a dad, is it dynamic or static? Much more static. Of course, it's a bit dynamic, but much more static between a father and a son. Usually the father and the son, the father says, do what I do what I say, listen to me. That's a very static, inflexible relationship. Usually, not always. But the husband and wife, woohoo! Cray cray. Ese loco ese. Wow, wow, wow. I'm afraid of my wife. I never know what I did wrong, but I do something wrong every day. So, people are asking, do I use textbooks? Absolutely not. I do not use textbooks because textbooks are dead English. They're static. They're inflexible. And in school, that's necessary, yes. But in real life, no, homie. No, homie. It be changing, Holmes. Real life is very dynamic. It's always changing. Yeah. So that's really, and I can use this static and dynamic for pronunciation when it comes to pronunciation. When we talk about pronunciation, if you know me, I always make pronunciation two separate parts. What are the separate parts? When Coach Shane teaches pronunciation, I like to put it in two separate parts. What are the parts that I like? If you know me, you know the answer. What are the parts that I like? Number one is what? Nobody knows me. I'm singing a Korean song. I want to cry. Oh, geez. Nobody knows. Oh, God. No. The two parts are vowels and consonants. Vowels and consonants. Vowels are what? How do you say vowels in Chinese? Vowels are what? A, E, I, O, U. Those are the vowels, okay? Those are the vowels. A, E, I, O, U. And consonants are everything else. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. Those are the consonants. Okay? You understand? So when we talk about pronunciation, which one is static? Are vowels static for pronunciation? Or are consonants static for pronunciation? Consonants are static. These are static. These are static. Vowels are dynamic. I told you, which is easier to learn, static or dynamic? Which is easier to learn, static or dynamic? Which is easier to learn? Static is easier to learn. Consonants are easier to learn. Vowels change. Vowels are dynamic. Vowel sounds in California, vowel sounds in New York City, vowel sounds in Boston, vowel sounds in Georgia, vowel sounds in Texas are all different. They change. But the consonants never do. Consonants are static. Do you understand? Yes or no? You got it? You with me? You understand? Yeah, cool. So let's go to my speaking class. Let's talk about my speaking class. Speaking. Is speaking static or dynamic? Is speaking static or dynamic? Very dynamic. Extremely dynamic. It's always changing. We don't know what people are going to say. They might be talking about one thing and they say something different, and we're thinking one thing and we're understanding. It's very dynamic. So, is it easy to teach speaking? Yes or no? Is it easy? If speaking is dynamic, is it easy to teach speaking? Yes or no? No, it's not. Teaching something dynamic is difficult. So that's why in my speaking class, I make it static. How do I do that? How do I take something that's dynamic and make it static? The way you do it is the same way a politician gives a speech. How do you say politician in your language? How do you say politician? So a politician, I don't have a notebook. Where's my notebook? A politician will have a speech. They're going to have a speech, right? And will the politician read the speech? In recent weeks, Kiev's allies, particularly the United States and the UK, have appeared increasingly open to the notion of letting Ukraine use long-range missile systems supplied by the... Is that a good speech? I'm giving a speech. Is that good? Is that good? Yeah? Boring. Completely boring. So does the politician memorize his speech? No, because then it's too much. No, what the politician does is he practices and practices and practices and practices, and suddenly he can do. In recent weeks, Kiev's allies, particularly the United States, have appeared increasingly open to the notion of letting Ukraine use long-range missiles. How is that? Was that good? Was that better? Yes or no? So much better. And the more I practice, the better it will be. Do I want to memorize it? No, I do not want to memorize it. But I want to practice this so much that I don't really need to look. If I need to look, I can look. I know exactly where I am. And I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Right? So now I've taken this static speech and I've practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and made it sound dynamic. So when I give you a perf assignment, it's the same idea. I want you to read it. And at first you're reading it. It's very static. It's boring, but the translation is there. But then you practice it. You practice it more and more. And then suddenly you're not focused so much. You're not concentrating so much. You're not memorizing, but you practice so much, it becomes comfortable. At that point, perfect. Your natural pronunciation is going to come out. And interestingly, your natural mistakes, especially grammar patterns, those mistakes are going to come out. And if I want to fix your speaking, which is dynamic, I need to hear you as natural as possible. Once you hear you as natural as possible, then we can go check. And we can see, oh my God, my pronunciation here is not good. Oh my God, I made a grammar mistake. Oh my God, this was good, but this was bad. I didn't use linking or liaison. I like to say linking. This is the idea. That's how you take something that is dynamic, bring it back to being static, and then bring it back into being dynamic. You don't have to worry about that. The process I already created. I created the process. I created the system. All you need to do is do it. Does that make sense? So yeah, using the word static and dynamic, these are science words. That's right, they're science words. But we can use them in English. We can use them in pronunciation. We can use them in relationships. We can use them talking about speaking. Just practice is not enough, Vicky. So once again, there's a step. There's a step to fixing your speaking. Number one, you need to recognize when you make mistakes. That's step one. If you don't recognize when you make mistakes, you're not going to be able to fix it. Hi, Yuri. If you aren't able to hear yourself making mistakes, the chance of you being able to fix your problems, very low. Okay? For adults, I'm talking about adults, very low. You need to be able to hear yourself making mistakes. Number two, you need to know self-awareness. That's right. Number two, you need to know how to fix it. What's the technique? What's the recommended way to fix your problems? Whether it's a grammar problem, pronunciation problem, whatever the problem. You need to have a way to fix it. Then you got to try and fix it. And step three is you're going to need a coach or a teacher. You're going to have somebody actually listen to you and tell you how you're doing, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Okay? This is the method to fixing your speaking. So number one, self-awareness. Recognize your mistakes. Number two, understand what you need to do to fix them. And number three, get a coach. Number one is easy. That's free. Number two, not as easy. Usually you have to pay. And number three, you got to pay. Number one is free. Anybody can do it. Practice makes perfect? No. Perfect practice makes perfect. Number two, you're probably going to have to pay. And number three, you have to pay. That's the way it works. For adults, once again, everybody, I'm talking to adults. So purpose, my favorite way to describe it is It's like a reference material book. Everybody has a dictionary. Well, you should have this as your speaking dictionary. That's what you can think of it as. This is your speaking Bible. This is going to show you step by step exactly what you need to do to be a good speaker in English. Good morning, Coach Shane. You can call me Coach. But that's really important. The class today is the lessons, the perf lessons, I designed them for adults. We have kids, we have grandmas, we have everybody using it. But they're designed for adults who need to actually speak English. If that's you, if you need to speak English, then this is the course that you need, okay? I have students all around the world. I've been teaching English for almost 40 years. I know what the biggest problems are for people. And there's three main problems. It's pronunciation. You might think you're good, but actually you might not be. It's intonation, knowing how to stress words. You might think you know, but no, there are lots of problems that I hear every day. And it's the rhythm. And this is what people have told me. So I have for example, I've got a professor. I got two professors that come to mind right now. One is, his name is Alex. He's in Russia, in Kursk, if you know about Russia. And the other is Yulong. He's a computer science professor in Nanjing. Okay. Both of these guys have become not only professors to Chinese students and professors to Russian students, but they have been promoted to the international school because both of their universities have an international department where they have to teach in English. And both of those guys are teaching in Russian and English, in Chinese and English. And what's cool is, and my Chinese teacher said it first and my Russian teacher said it later, because of my perf lessons, when I teach English, because I'm aware of pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm, my lessons are so much more interesting. And what has happened is now my Chinese lectures are so much more interesting. Because I realize some things I'm teaching are very basic or very boring. So by changing the way I say things, it sounds so much more interesting. And students don't fall asleep. And students are awake and they're focused and they're listening and they're eager. Oh, that is beautiful. And this works in business. This works in any situation. So the perf lessons they really do create magic. They are for speaking in English in particular, but they'll help you in other areas too. For sure they will. What am I eating? Nuts. Your eyes so big just now. Oh, they can get really crazy. My eyes are weird. Shirley said, thank you so much, Shirley. Shirley said, this lesson can make me concentrate. I love that. Yeah, that's really cool. All right, so I got some questions that I want to answer. How long does the course last? It lasts as long as you want. Get the lessons, okay? So if you buy the course, you'll get the lessons within the hour. You can download the lessons. You can download them. That means you can keep them. My recommendation is the course should last 25 weeks. One lesson per week. That's my recommendation. That's how I want you to study the course. I know some people are studying 3 lessons a day, which is not what I recommend at all. So you're going to have to do what you want to do. My recommendation is 1 lesson a week. All right. My speaking speed. So do other Americans speak the same speed as me? I'm speaking normally. Sometimes I slow down, but my speaking right now is normal. The only difference between me and most other Americans is my pronunciation is very clear. Why is my pronunciation clear? Well, I've actually been a radio DJ. You remember the old radio? We still have radios. In 1982. And I'm still a radio DJ. So I've been a radio DJ for 42 years. And part of the job of a radio DJ is to speak clearly. So I've been trained to speak clearly for a long time. So that's why it's easy or easier to understand me compared to other Americans, because I've been trained. And somebody said, my English is so-so. It doesn't matter. What's important for English, what's important is, do you need to speak English? Do you need to listen to native English speakers speaking? Do you need to speak English? If you need to speak English, then this is the course for you. Level doesn't matter. This is for adults. So if you're an adult, you at least have 3 years of middle school English, 3 years of high school English. You probably have another 4 years of college English. You have enough. That's more than enough. The average speaker, the average American only uses 800 to 1,000 words a day. That's all. The average American native English speaker only uses between 800 and 1,000 unique words a day. That's it. You can do that. Some of the lessons will be tough. In fact, the first lesson is a bit tough. But other lessons are super easy. Super easy? Yeah, much, much, much easier. Because sometimes when we speak, we say difficult things. And sometimes when we speak, we say easy things. Yeah, if you don't need to speak English, you don't need this at all. You don't need it. You're wasting your money. This is for people who need to speak English. Can I listen to the news? Sure. Do you know about all the different political situations around the world? Do you understand economics? Do you understand the different sports and the terminology and phrases? Probably not. Therefore, the news is going to be really difficult. But you can. Of course you can. Is grammar important in speaking in America? Of course it is. Should it be your priority? No. Earlier, I gave you guys the list of steps you need to master English as an adult. Grammar was step number 8. Grammar's there, but for speaking and listening, grammar is step number 8. If you're writing in English, yeah, you have to have perfect grammar. But use AI. As an adult, use AI. Do I have any other classes? We have lots of classes. And we have lots of classes. This is our entry level class. This is where it begins. This is our entry point. It is more difficult to speak than to understand. That's because of the education system. So the school's way of teaching English is reading letters, then reading words, then vocabulary, then writing, then grammar, then speaking and listening. The natural way to learn a language is listening, then speaking, then reading, then writing. It's the education system. It's not your fault. You shouldn't feel bad about struggling. At college, university, same thing. Every university is made up of colleges. Why? So the question is, why do you use college instead of university? Every university is made up of colleges. The College of Liberal Arts, the Engineering College, Law College, Medical College, Engineering College. So in America, we usually say college. Yeah, so if you studied English 3 years middle school, 3 years high school, and then 4 years college, and you're not good at English, it's actually, you can relax because it's actually not your fault. It isn't. You just weren't taught how to use English or how English is used. You were given the academic uh, focus, which is necessary in school. Can this lesson help to improve my grammar? What's wrong with your grammar? Your grammar was perfect. You don't have a problem with grammar. Your grammar was perfect. In your sentence, your grammar was perfect. It's not the fault of the education system. No, it's not the fault of the education system. This is what I said earlier. We were talking about static and dynamic, okay? The education system needs to measure your ability, okay? The education system needs to measure your level, your ability. In order to do that, they have to use a static system of education. They have to. But in real life, English is not static. English is dynamic. But for the education system, it's very difficult to measure dynamic performance. Extremely difficult and time consuming. But it's extremely easy and very efficient to measure static results. So that's the system. And it's not just in China, or in Russia, or it's everywhere. That system is everywhere. That's the education system, the modern education system. It didn't used to be that way. The old Greek method of education was very different. But we like to measure. We like to have scores and grades and levels. So we need a static system for that. More questions. Did I answer all my questions? Yeah. So my English is so-so. I don't care. Do you need to speak English? Then the course will help you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I should be traveling in November. I could understand what you're saying completely, but it's difficult to talk like you. I know. That's why for adults, no English environment. Yeah. So these are all points I've talked about already. That's why for adults, you need to start with speaking. You got to go back and relearn speaking. You have to. If you want to be good at listening, if you want to be good at English, you have to go back to speaking. You have to. The steps, I'll say them again. The steps. Number 1, pronunciation. Number 2, intonation. Number 3, rhythm. Number 4, flow. Number 5, listening. Number 6, daily English. Number 7, vocabulary. Number 8, grammar. Those are the steps that you need to relearn in that order. As an adult, that's what you have to do. No English environment. That's what the person says. So my business is international. 40% of my students are in America. My business is very big, and 40% of my clients live in America. They're Hispanic, they're Arabic speakers, they're Chinese, they're Korean, they're Japanese, they're Russian, they're Portuguese, they're Czech, they're Germans, they're French. They live in the United States. They have an English environment, but it's no good because in the US, if you can say a noun and a verb, and we understand your noun and your verb, that's all we care about. You can have horrible pronunciation. You can have terrible grammar. You can know 35 vocabulary words. That's enough. And nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to correct you. Nobody's going to help you. Because in America, we have so many different nationalities all trying to speak English. And it's a mess. So we don't care. Native speakers don't care. As long as you can say, oh, hamburger price, that's enough. Hamburger price, okay, $2. Oh, good. Okay, how many? 4. Good. That's enough. You spoke perfect English to the American. But the problem is, if you're a professional, you're an engineer, you're a marketing person, you're a doctor, and your English is like that, you probably won't get a job. If you get a job, it'll be a lower job, and the chance for promotion extremely low or slow. So the 40% of my business that comes from America are all professionals. They're doctors and lawyers and engineers and business people and teachers. And they come to me because nobody fixes their grammar. Even though they're in an English environment, nobody helps them. That's why they come to me. English environment is your responsibility. You have to find it. You have to create it. It's not where you live. I don't care where you live. You can live in the middle of the ocean on a boat. You can still create your environment. That's on you. Does anybody care about your grammar? No, unless you're a professional. If you're a lawyer or a business person and you're giving a presentation and your grammar is bad, people will laugh at you. They will not respect your intelligence. So in certain situations, grammar is absolutely important. I don't teach children. Somebody said, my baby is sick of the grammar. Yeah, I don't teach kids. Kids have to learn it. If you're a child, if you're a student, you have to listen to your teacher. How to add the class? It's in the shopping cart, I think. I think it's in the shopping cart. I don't know. We'll put a card up later, but I think it's in the shopping cart. I'm not really sure. But we'll introduce it again a little bit later. That's for sure. Give me more questions. How can I deal with the problem that many native speakers have an accent? Yep. So my recommendation, you do you first. You worry about yourself first. My recommendation for everybody, choose either a British accent or an American accent. I teach the American accent. Fix your American accent first. Then, once you know you have a decent American accent, now you can think about Indian accents and Irish accents and British accents and accents from Texas and New York and Boston. That's when you can switch and start focusing on those. But first things first, fix your English. And I do recommend American English. You have to do that. It's a process. It's a step-by-step process. And if you follow the process, it works. Sam Sarah, that's really true. Sam Sarah says, I lived in the US 8 months, but my speaking didn't improve much. Exactly. Sam Sarah, the problem also was probably your speaking didn't improve much, but your confidence improved. But when you're confident and you speak more, you develop bad habits. And the more you speak, the badder the habits become. The more difficult it is to fix those habits. That's why I tell people, don't study abroad. Fix your English first. Seriously. Don't study abroad. Fix your English in your country first, where it's much cheaper. Yeah, I have an assistant. Lots of assistants. How to improve my... So Serendipity asks, how can I improve my oral English as fast as possible? I don't know your ability. I don't know. If you practice every day for 8 hours, you will improve very fast. But don't practice the wrong thing. Practice the right thing. Practice makes perfect? No. Perfect practice makes perfect. Extremely important. I have a problem with understanding the Indian accent. They speak quickly with a heavy accent. It's probably not the speed, it's the pronunciation. So, should I give you a trick to help you understand Indian accents? Yes or no? Should I give you a trick to help you understand Indian accents? I have so many Indian students. All of them live in the US. So, the trick for helping you understand the Indian accent, write this sentence down. I'll give you American pronunciation. And I use the same sentence all the time, but it's perfect. Here we go. I would like a cup of tea. Oh, I know. Very few people have 8 hours but this guy said, how can I master speaking quickly? Study 8 hours a day. You have to do that. I would like a cup of tea. I would like a cup of tea. Write that down. I would like a cup of tea. Perfect. Good job. I would like a cup of tea. I would like a cup of tea. Write it down over here. I have many platforms. I want to make sure everybody writes it. I would like a cup of tea. I'm still waiting. I will wait. I would like a cup of tea. Good job, Jackie. Good job. Okay, good. Now I see it on all my platforms. That's the American pronunciation. But the Indian pronunciation is going to be more like, I would like a cup of tea. 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 Same speed, but the pronunciation was different. I would like a cup of tea. The W is almost a V. It's not exactly a V, but it's very close to a V. I would like a cup of tea. The T is almost like a D. It's not exactly a D, but it's almost like a D. That right there, by knowing the Indian W's are typically more like a V, and the Indian T's are typically more like a D. That trick right there will help you so much in your understanding. And I'm not joking. That alone will help you so much in your understanding of Indian pronunciation. I had my Indian students in the US, I probably have about 200 Indian students. All of them are professionals. All of them are native English speakers with an Indian pronunciation. There's nothing wrong with their pronunciation. It's Indian English. That's all it is. Okay? But they come to me, many of them in tears, because of their frustration at life in America, because nobody or not many people understand them. Everybody always says, "What did you say? Can you say that again? I didn't understand you." And they hate Americans and they hate America simply for that reason. They hate their job. Their family is frustrated with them. Their children are embarrassed. And it's all because of pronunciation. Once they fix their pronunciation, which is not difficult, it's actually quite easy when they listen to me, their life changes. Their life absolutely changes. Australian English is tough too. Australian English is tough too. Where am I? I'm in the USA. I'm in Vermont. Could you please tell us how to study English accent in 8 hours a day? So if you're going to study for 8 hours a day, you better invest in a coach, in a program. So I do that. I have several students. Is my mom made it here? My mom made it, might be here. If she's here, say hi. And she is in, oh no, you can go 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But it's a lot. So she's in my English camp. She's in my Perf VIP. She's in my DDM VIP. She's in everything. My mom made it. You're here. Hello. Good. Great to see you. So how many hours a day, my mom made it, are you investing in your English? Can you tell us how many hours a day are you investing in your English studies with me? She's in all my classes. How many hours a day are you investing right now? At least 5 hours a day. Good. And another question, my mom made it. Are you joining our live classes? Yes or no? Are you joining our live classes? Yes or no? I already know the answer. Of course, you can split it into parts. I'm waiting for my mom made it. Do you have other lessons? Oh, we've got lots of other lessons. Yeah. Yes. So we have, she says yes. And if I missed it, I download every recording. Thank you, my mom made it. So we have live classes where she can go and practice and get coached by the coaches and me and our whole team. We record the live classes. So if she misses one, she can download it. We have our live camp where you can interact with me and everybody else, and it's outstanding. We have AMA classes, Ask Me Anything, practice classes. So we have the infrastructure, we have the environment for you. If you have 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, we have the system for you. It's not cheap, but we have it. It's so much cheaper than going abroad, okay? But we have the system for you. So, yeah. The step one is the self-study. I'm not joking. We like people to go through the self-study course, at least for 3 or 4 weeks, because then we know you're serious. Because when you join our bigger programs, there's no refunds, because we give you a great price and we give you everything immediately. So there's no refunds. So we want people to try our entry program, which is what we have today. And if you don't like it, you can get a refund. Very few people ask for one, but if you want one, we'll give you a refund. So we want the serious people. And that's why we have this entry level course. And this entry level course is amazing. It's 6 months. Our other programs, the people are asking about the price. So the price range for our entry level it starts at $28. That's the bottom. And that's actually a 6-month course. The highest range is $1,000. And that's per month. And people say that's crazy. We have 20 people here. 20 people. That's executive English. And then we have a range in between. We got $35, there's $75 per month, there's $125, there's $170, and these are all per month. And these are VIP and live and personal feedback and elite. We have a whole range of different classes. We've got English Camp, we've got Perf, we've got DDM, we've got Action English, and we have a new one coming out for beginners. There is a new one coming out. Hopefully January? I don't know. So we have a huge range, and we have so many live classes every week. We've got, I don't even know, probably 80. No, not that many. Over 40. Oh man, I don't know. We have a ton of live classes. It's probably like 60. I'm not really sure how many, but we have a huge live class schedule, different days, different times of the day. So yeah, we have a very large infrastructure available to people like My Mom Made It. My Mom Made It is very serious about her English. 5 hours a day. She's studying English 5 hours a day. She's studying lessons. She's joining live classes and practicing. She's working with the coaches. The coaches are helping her with her questions and her pronunciation. So, yeah. Step 1 is PERF. Step 1 is my speaking class. And we like people to start at the beginning. Everybody's like, oh no, I want VIP. Oh, I want one-on-one lessons. No, we don't like that. We don't like that. Going back to teaching speaking, it's kind of difficult to teach speaking because there are endless things that we talk about. I mean, what do we talk about? Who are we talking to? We talk about so many different things, right? At work, we talk about the future. We talk about what happened yesterday. We talk about our plans. We talk about particular projects. We talk about other employees. We talk about other companies. We talk about shopping. We talk about what we like. We talk about what we don't like. We talk about movies, TV shows. We talk about food. We talk about dogs. We talk about cats. We talk about boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives and children and grandmas and grandpas and moms and dads. It's National Week. Congratulations. We talk about holidays. We talk about where we go. We talk about what we want to do. We talk about our dreams. We talk about our fears. We talk about our hopes. We talk about everything. So in my speaking class, which is called PERF, right now we're over 400 lessons. I'm giving you the first 25 lessons where we have 25 different speaking subjects. And I'll just read some of the subjects. You guys know Elon Musk, and he wants to go to Mars. Yeah, so we talk about the greenhouse on Mars. We talk about a job interview experience. We talk about living alone in the mountains, all by yourself, maybe just for a day, maybe for a year. We talk about that. We talk about breaking up, bad relationship, breaking up with a boyfriend, breaking up with a girlfriend. We talk about interviews, listening to interviews, doing interviews. We talk about telling short stories. This morning, I was at the store, blah, 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 blah. That's a short story. We talk about where you live. Can you describe where you live? What is there to do? What is nice to see? These are things that we talk about. We talk about fruit. Cantaloupe. Do you even know cantaloupe? Chinese people love durian. Americans don't know about durian. We know about cantaloupe. So we're going to talk about cantaloupe. Silly things, but we actually talk about this. Oh my God. What are you eating? Oh, I'm eating a fruit salad. Oh, what's that orange stuff? Oh, that's cantaloupe. Cantaloupe, what's that? Oh, cantaloupe, it's like a melon. Oh, where'd you get it? Oh, I got it at the store. Oh, wow, is it cheap? Oh, it's really cheap. It's like 99 cents a pound. Oh, really? Can I have a bite? Yeah, sure, here you go. This is a real life conversation that you might have at lunch when you see your coworker eating something. What are you eating? Where'd you get that? How much was it? Is it good? Maybe I should get it. Good job, Sensor. We talk about Steve Jobs inspiring people. We talk about American food, hamburgers, pizza, right? We talk about selling something, selling a dip. Somebody earlier was a cold call, asked about cold calling. We got that subject. We have a conversation about dogs. Conversation about dogs. You can change it to cats. New Year's resolutions. Some people like them, some people don't. Arguing with the business. Your business sucks. I would be sobbing if Cantaloupe's here at 9. Oh, really? I don't even know. Cantaloupe. CANTALOUPES. One more time. CANTALOUPES. Cantaloupes. Talk about dogs and cats. New Year's resolution. Arguing with the business. Your business sucks. I hate your business. Give me my money back. That situation. We talk about raving about a product. Oh my God, your product is so good. I love your product. It's the greatest product in the world. Thank you so much. Everybody should buy it. This is the greatest. Giving advice how to sound professional. If you're a business person, when you're speaking, you need to sound professional. If you're a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, a professor, you need to sound professional. When you go to a job interview, even at the customs interview, right? You need customs and immigration. You need to sound professional. Perfect. Self-introduction. Everybody needs to know a good self-introduction. Introducing your company. What does your company do? Tell us about your company. Oh, my company, blah, 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 blah. Conversations, giving advice, complaining about a coworker. Oh my God. Do you see Ken? Oh, Ken didn't take a shower. He stinks. Go smell him. Oh, he smells really bad. Ken stinks. These are the subjects that we're giving you for Yao Jojo. It's self-study. Make sure you understand what self-study is, but it's amazing. This is your first step. If you like these lessons, which you will, then you can join our other programs. So somebody was asking, I don't have the environment. You make your environment. Like I said earlier, 40%, the majority, 40% of my students live in the US. They have the environment. It doesn't work. You have to make your environment. You have to understand this is so important. You have to make your environment. So how do you do that? So if you bought the perf lessons, it's easy. I give you the lessons. You now have the lessons. What you need to do is build out your study system. That is going to give you an environment. Where is it? I got so many things. Oh my God. Here we go. We'll use this one. So what you should do right now, if you bought the lessons, first of all, congratulations. Take your smartphone and set an alarm. Set an alarm once for the morning, once for lunch, and once for the evening. What time? You decide. When are you awake enough? When do you have a minute? That's what you need, a minute. A minute in the morning, a minute at noon, a minute at lunch. That's all. So, for example, 6:42 a.m., 7 days a week. 12:30 lunchtime, 7 days a week. 8:45 p.m., 7 days a week. Set an alarm. That is your English minute. This is going to remind you constantly that you need to speak English for 1 minute. And where do you get the English? I give you the assignment. When I give you the assignment, I give it to you in English and Chinese. I don't care if your English is excellent. If your native language is Chinese, read it in Chinese. Read it in Chinese, then look at the English. When you guys are looking at the English, I don't want you thinking about grammar. I don't want you thinking about syntax, sentence structure, nuance. I don't want you thinking about anything. I want you speaking. The only thing I want you to do is speak. So make sure you look at the translation. Make sure you understand what you're doing. Start tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, your alarm goes off. 6:45 a.m. You got the assignment. It's on your phone. You can download it. You can print it. You can do whatever you want. Put it on your mirror. I don't care. Read it. It'll take a minute. Sometimes 50 seconds. Sometimes a minute and 20 seconds. Roughly a minute. Just once. That's all. You're done. Lunchtime, 12:30. Oh, 1 minute English. Read it again. In the evening, 8:45. Oh, 1 minute of English. Read it again. If you're in a business meeting, go to the bathroom. Read it. If you're talking or arguing with your wife, say you got to go poo-poo. Go to the bathroom. Read it. If your children are right there, tell them, hey, Daddy's going to speak English. You want to listen? Your children will say yes. Read it. There's no excuses. You got to stick to that schedule. Don't read it twice. Don't. Read it once. Can you do it 5 times a day? Yes. You only need to do it 3 times a day. This is what you need to do. But wait a minute. It's not a reading class. It's a speaking class. You're right. But I have to give you something static. So in the beginning, it is reading. But you're reading the same thing every day. Every day. Day 1, day 2, day 3. 3 times a day, you're reading it. What happens? You start to relax. You start to focus less. You start to concentrate less. You're comfortable with the words. You're comfortable with what you're talking about. And you start speaking. That reading naturally changes to speaking. But we're not done. Day 1, 2, 3, read. Day 4, speak. Day 5, speak again. Day 5, evening, you have to record yourself. This is a self-study course. If you do not record yourself on day 5, you're effing up. You have to record yourself. This is going to be you speaking. Your pronunciation, your style, it's going to be perfect. In order for you to fix your speaking, step 1, recognize your problems. We're not ready to recognize yet. Just record it. Good, we're done. Day 6, watch the lesson videos. There's 2. It takes about an hour. Watch them. Get into them. I explain everything. This is all you are speaking. Day 6 is me. I show you my pronunciation, my intonation, my rhythm. I explain why. I explain how. I explain what. I explain everything. Watch the lesson videos. And then on day 7, try to copy my style. That's all you do. That's all you do. And on day 7, your last one, record yourself. Then what you need to do, compare your day 5 to your day 7. And you will hear differences. Some of the differences you will like, some of the differences you won't like. You're going to start to hear where your pronunciation is maybe not so good. If you're doing a really good job, you're going to hear grammar mistakes. And in the story, there are no grammar mistakes, but you made them. Why? Because you were speaking, and these are your problems. They will come out. This is how to use the self-study course. That's my recommendation. You do whatever you want, but if you want my recommendation on how to best gain from this class, you got 25 lessons, 25 weeks. Use this format. Your English will change. Got it, everybody? All right. Any questions from anybody? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, Jackie. Absolutely, I guess. Oh, tomorrow's a busy day. Yeah. Gemma is also very cute. Everyone is terrific. Yeah. Thank you. My mom made it. You're the best. We really appreciate it. Catch you later. Absolutely, on. So chill. Yeah. Justin's cool, right? They look like AI photos. They look like AI photos. I still have homework to do. Oh, geez, that's terrible. Good luck, brah. My listening is very poor. It's, believe it or not, your listening skills are connected to your speaking skills. So the philosophy we use, if you can say it, you can hear it. And what that means is if you can say it like the native speaker, then you can hear it, which is logical. So for people who have bad listening skills, don't worry too much. It's tied to pronunciation and speaking, and that can be learned. So just don't give up. Just keep going. Stay with me. You'll be fine. Any other questions or comments? All right, guys, I am out of here. I'll give you 30 seconds if you have a. Thank you, Malin. Thank you. Subscribe ASAP. Thank you. You guys are too nice. You guys, I'll give you 30 seconds. If you got a question or something, let me know. And otherwise, I'll let you guys go. You guys have a fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. I really, especially my regulars, I love to see you because when I talk about things, I try to change the angle. I try to talk about different things because I don't want you guys to be bored because, you know, we talk about the same stuff all the time. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate it. That's really nice. And to all the new people, thank you so much for finding me. If you don't know me, join me tomorrow, 8:30 China. That's probably what time I will start, 8:30 China. Wang Shiren, yeah, you saw the noodle restaurant. Cool. It's my restaurant. And I'll introduce myself. I'll introduce myself tomorrow. If you don't know me, I didn't introduce myself today, so I'll do that tomorrow. And we'll talk about other stuff. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a great sleep if it's sleep time for you. Otherwise, if it's the afternoon or the morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Take care. Thank you very much for joining, and I will talk to you tomorrow. That's the goal. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.